Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and if you remember from last episode, today we're going to the moon, and we've got a couple things that are going to help us here. In particular, a new science module, and that is the Computer Flight Unit. I'll show you what that does. There's a couple other things in here, but I always use this one because I think it looks cooler. I don't even know what the other ones do. I think they do the same thing, only they just look different. But in addition to that, what this is going to do is this is going to tell me how much delta V I have. And if anybody who's out there doesn't know what delta V is, it's what you need to get wherever you're going. And I like to know how much delta V I have on my rockets whenever I'm going anywhere besides low Kerbal orbit. It's just something I've gotten used to, so I installed this mod. It's the engineer mod. I'll put a link to it in the show notes if I remember. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. The other thing I'm going to use, I'm going to show it to you right now, is this. It is a map that I have found on the internet. I will also link that in the show notes. It shows you how to get to anywhere from Kerbin. So you can see from looking at this map that I need to go from... I need 4,500 K or delta V to get into Kerbin orbit. Then I need another, what is that, about 860 to get to the point where I'm near the moon. And then I'm going to need another, we'll say, what is that? 230 and 80 is about, what is that, about 300 or so, give or take. So what is that, 4,500? I'm just back of the envelope in this. 53, and then 230 and 80 is another 300. So we'll say 56, 57. We'll make it 6,000. That's our goal. And the reason I don't need to worry about getting onto the surface and getting back to Kerbin, because I'm going to try a free return trajectory. Okay, so let's do that. So we need 6,000 delta V total. That's just what you got to have to get this going. So let's go ahead and throw this on here, and I'll show you what this guy does. I gotta purchase it in the R&D. That's right. So let's go ahead and back out. I forgot, whenever you add something that's already been on your node, you have to come into here and purchase it. I believe it's on the first node here. Yeah. So I need to purchase that. Yes, I want to research it, and I guess I'll research these two as well. Why not? And this is that's where the parachute doesn't have an image anymore. It did before, right? But anyway, let's go ahead and back out of this. Go back into the VAB. And now we're going to put our pod here, and we're going to science it up. I like to put it on the back. Oh, I already have a pod. It remembered my pod from last time. That's pretty funny. There we go. I like to put it on the back. So let's just slap it on there. And oh, look at all this stuff it tells you. Okay. The only thing I care about right now is, and I can even compact it, is how much delta V I have per everything I do. So let's go ahead and throw this parachute on here, because we're gonna wanna land whoever we send back up. And let's be good little guys here and do this. And then let's add, we're just going to put the biggest fuel tank and a single rocket. And oh, here's another thing, ISP. If you look the fourth line down here, ISP in a vacuum is 370 on this rocket. ISP in a vacuum is 370 on this rocket. They're the same. They do the same amount of thrust per fuel, I guess is the best way to say it. This one, however, does a little bit more thrust total, and this one does a little bit less, but it has gimbaling. That's the only difference between these. Once I'm in space, I'm not going to have too much control, so I'm going to actually go with the less thrust, and we've already got 2,000 meters per second delta V. So obviously, this isn't going to be too hard to get into orbit here. Let's go ahead and throw a decoupler on that. And let's go ahead and put 2 of these fuel things on here. Remember, our goal is 6,000. And let's use this one that has 215 with no... So now we've got our 2 stages. And this also tells us the total. Now we're at 3753. So let's put some... what are we going to do? 4-way. Let's do a 4-way here and see what this does for us. And we're just gonna... Let's put the big solid rocket boosters on, just because we're crazy. Are those actually attached? Yes, they are. And now we've got our 6,000. So in theory, this is going to get us into orbit. And I'm going to put my booster on the bottom here. Then we're going to decouple these guys when they run out of fuel. Then we're going to decouple this guy when he runs out of fuel. And we're also going to do this rocket here when he runs out of fuel. Then when we come back to Earth, Kerbal, whatever, we're going to decouple this guy and then come home. And notice our delta V went down because we changed the way we staged. This thing isn't perfect. I don't know if it's actually better to do it the other way or not. And I just noticed these things aren't attached correctly. There we go. Now they're attached well. So we're going to need a little bit more oomph, and I'm going to do that by adding another fuel tank. Putting this guy down here. Okay, now we're back to our 6,000. Okay, and we need to add some goo containers. Oh, we definitely don't need that many. Just 2. The standard 2. And look at how much that dropped our delta V down. So now we need to worry about that. So what are we going to do about that? I don't really want to add another fuel tank down there. Maybe we'll add one up here. I'm making this up as I go along. I hope you don't mind. Okay, that should do it. That should be fine. And do we have... No, we don't. We haven't researched the... let's see, I need 4 of these. Okay. I need to see the bottom of my ship. Okay. I want it to be sitting on the solid rocket boosters, not on the big booster. And I think that'll do it. Yeah. It's at worst they're all sitting together. And now it's off center, which is going to annoy me to no end. Ugh. There we go. And of course now they're not. Okay, I need to do it all in the same mode here. Sorry, I know this is great. This is great fun to watch. Okay, there we go. That's it. Okay, we're going to call this Mooner 1. And we're going to save. And our delta V is fine. We are going to launch. Okay, it's night. We don't care about that. We're going to turn on our SAS. We are going to throttle it up to max. And also, our vessel controls, we have a ton of important information. In particular, I'm going to have to fix this way, but I won't do it on camera. I need to take away the things I don't care about. But the thing I do care about right now, the most important thing here, is atmospheric efficiency. If you see this here, if this gets... We want to get this to 100% as fast as possible, and then we don't want to go over 100%. So I have a feeling these solid rocket boosters are going to get us there pretty darn quick. So I'm going to throttle down completely, and we'll see how that works for us. So 3, 2, 1, go! And you see our efficiency is already above 100%, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it, so I just have to wait for these things. Sorry about that, I had to turn my own volume down. We have to wait for these things to die on their own. And I have like no attitude control whatsoever. I really need SAS. But what is our efficiency now? 175%, yeah. Not sure that's how percentage works, but we'll go with it. Okay. Just cranking this up so that when we do get under 100%, we're fine. Okay. And we got to start our gravity turn because we are going fast. Okay, now we're under. Once you get above 10,000, I am going the wrong way. Ah. I do not have the delta V to do this. Bill is not too happy with my flying here. I can understand, Bill. I'm not too happy with it either. This also tells me my my apoapsis. I don't care about surface anymore. This also tells me my apoapsis and my periapsis heights, which are awesome for doing this, because I don't need to go into map mode. I can actually, in theory, do almost all of this without ever leaving this screen. Now, granted, it's nighttime, so you can't see what I'm doing, but I don't have to go to map mode. I can see how far my apoapsis is and go with it that way. Okay, I've pretty much corrected my angles here, so I'm just going to go right on the 90 degrees, and I'm waiting for this to climb up to about 80. We have a lot less fuel than I was expecting. I was expecting this stage to get me into orbit, and it looks like it's going to just get me to the apoapsis, probably because of that badness with the thing, but we'll find out what happens. We can also oh, whoa, we're already there. Okay, now I gotta go to the map mode. We can also reassess our delta V once we get into orbit and decide if we can, in fact, make it to the moon or not. Okay, 70, that's good enough. Give it a little bit more. I don't want my apoapsis to get crazy. Okay, 80 by 82. That's perfect. Okay, let's bring this up, and our resources. We're going to have to burn for 37 seconds just to reach orbit. That's a decent burn there. But there's not much we can do about it. We just got to do it. But yeah, we've still got 2698 delta V, which is pretty good. That should be plenty to get us to the moon. I mean, we were supposed to have 6,000 something, and, well, we'll see. We only need 1,000 delta V. This will get us 1,600. 1,600 should get us to the moon and back. Easy. Let's go ahead and crank up the speed here. Oh. When we get down to about, say, 18, I'm going to crank it up. Now let's do it at 19. Takes a second or two to get this going. Check out our rocket. It's doing okay. It's kind of dark, sadly. But, yeah, well, I am going to be installing mods. Obviously, I've installed this one. I've also installed a couple other ones that I haven't used and I don't really have a need for yet. But eventually I'm going to have the Kethane mod, and I'm going to have subassembly. Not subassembly. I don't need that anymore. The extraplanetary, launch pads mod. There we go, 87 by 81. It's got to be a good enough orbit for me. Okay. Delta V is 1607. So let's see. We can actually plan our burn here. I like to do it with the moon right around there. Actually, I like to do it a little bit ahead of the moon, so I can get my maneuver node set up the way I like it and then drag it to the moon. What you want to do for a free return, this is important, to go to the moon, you want to put it around here. You want your apoapsis to basically be where the moon is. You don't want that for a free return. For a free return, you want it at around 14. Or I'm sorry, yeah, 14. What is it? No, it's 12. That's right. Right around 12:25 or so, give or take. Doesn't really matter. That way we come up in front of the moon and end up behind it. And if you watch, right about there, look at the magic. See the magic there? Let's here's our periapsis around the moon. And if you look at this, let's go crazy here. We're off center a little bit, but it's not a big deal. We're actually going to come here, loop around the moon, and then come back to Kerbin. And obviously, this doesn't take us back to Kerbin. It takes us into a wonky orbit, but we should be able to fudge it and get a return to Kerbin. Might have to add a little more speed. There we go. A little more speed. We want to get pretty close to moon and also be able to return to Kerbin, which takes a little bit of finessing. So I'm going to go into fast mode while I fiddle with this, and I'll be back after that. And I crashed the game by alt-tabbing away. So we're going to go back here and I just reloaded it, and we're going to fly again. Luckily, the game saved after I was in orbit, but before I did anything else, obviously, because of that. So I need to reset up my maneuver node, and I'm going to go into speed mode right about now. Okay, we're back. I think I got it here. We've got a moon periapsis that's way too small, so we can't do that, actually. Let's get our moon periapsis at least 10,000. There we go. And then we've got a Kerbal periapsis that is... let's see. Let's get rid of this one. We can't. Yeah, oops, the zoom controls are a little crazy. Okay, Kerbal periapsis. Get rid of you. There we go. Okay. Our moon periapsis is gone, which is bad. It's very dodgy, and any change in anything makes it go away. 2,700 is definitely too little. 66 is too high. See the differences there? So let's go ahead and let's just plan for this to be at 32. When we come back, we're at 49. That should arrow break us enough to, maybe it'll take an extra orbit to get back. But these numbers aren't going to be the same. It's not going to work that way. It's an 867 meter per second delta V change. We've got plenty. We've got double that. So even if something goes horribly wrong, we should be able to get home. Hear that, Bill? Do you hear that, Bill? He doesn't look too happy about that. He says, "What do you mean horribly wrong?" But the thing is now, it took me 1,600 to reach that orbit, and that was about a 45-second burn, wasn't it? Give or take? Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember how much it was. But I'm going to go till we're about a minute away. And then I'm going to burn. I'm just fast forwarding here with my speed up, and now that it's daylight, let's take a look. Oh, I think no, you know what, we're going to take a screenshot. You know what, though, this is probably going to be 2 videos, so let's go ahead and take a screenshot here. Let's get around a little bit farther on Kerbal. We'll get to about 2 minutes, and then what are we over here? We are over, I don't even know where we are. Oh, I know where we are. We're on the continent. The desert's over there. So let's do this. Oh, that's a nice looking shot. Let's turn it a little bit. Shift the focus. Zoom in so we can actually see the ship. Maybe rotate it. Hit F2 to clear everything and screenshot. There we go. Okay. Now we gotta zoom. We gotta get everything centered again. Okay, we're 2 minutes out. I want to wait till we're about 1 minute out. I'm gonna speed up a little bit here, and then I'm gonna do my burn here. Yeah, oh yeah. So we gotta wait till we're about 20 seconds or so before we even think about burning. So let's go ahead and speed time up here. And oh. I'm actually going to throttle down a little bit. This is so touchy, and once I get it, I'm going to have to kill my burn and then fiddle with it a little bit to get everything just so. Okay, we need to adjust a little here. As soon as we get a periapsis, there we go. Okay, I'm going to kill this maneuver node. We're going to actually get out of there. 22, but we don't have a Kerbal periapsis, so I'm going to burn a... Oops, I got to go the other way. So I'll see it down here on the nav ball. I'm flipping myself around because I need to slow myself down a little bit. Whoop. Whoop. That's too much. Too much for both reasons, because I lost my moon periapsis, and my Kerbal periapsis is way too high. So I got to do this very touchy. This is where RCS would come in handy, because you can just go blip blip blip. But we should be good. 120, 70. I want to get it about 35. Oh, I hate to hit it one more time. Oh, I missed the X. So now we got to come back around. Okay, we're going to do it this time. I mean, I've got one finger on shift and one finger on X is how I'm doing this. Okay, gotta check our periapsis. 5, that's just too much. I gotta go one more. Just a little tap. Love tap. 49. Okay, we're going with that. If we do two orbits, we do 2 orbits. No big deal. Okay. Well, Bill. Ideally, we will never have to. Oh, you have no fuel in there? Oh yeah, we got plenty of fuel. So yeah, we got 700 delta V left, and in theory, we won't need to use any more at all. However, in reality, we'll probably have to do a burn to get ourselves in the atmosphere, because I've noticed that when you go around the back of the moon like that and then you come back out, your periapsis around Kerbal is never where it was before. But oh, there's another nice picture. I'm going to take a shot of that. Okay. But so we're gonna get out into the area between Kerbal and the moon, somewhere around here. I'm just gonna set up a maneuver node, and I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna use it as a reference point, so we can actually. You know what? Why don't we enjoy ourselves here? If we go into V, changes your camera mode. If you go into free mode, I don't know what the names mean, but I know what they do. Free mode keeps the planet you're orbiting in the same spot. So let's just enjoy the view here as we go away from Kerbal. Another mod I'm going to need to install is the city lights mod, which is really awesome because all this up here would have lights around it, which is really awesome. And it's also got clouds that would go by. Let's go ahead and crank up the speed a little bit. As we get farther away, it slows down. And oh, there's the sun. And okay, we're basically at our maneuver node, which I don't really care about. I'm just going to delete it. Because we're going to do science. We're going to check some things out. Now, I didn't bring an antenna on purpose. Because I don't think I need one. There we go. But we're going to do one experiment here.